What's going on YouTube, Ferocity? I hope you guys are doing well. Today I want to discuss TTK and map design in XDefiant. As I came across an article that I completely disagree with, and I want to talk about it in today's video. But before we get there, I want to ask you, the community watching this video, what are your thoughts on TTK and map design in XDefiant? Is the TTK fast, too slow? What are your thoughts? Do you like the map design? Do you hate the map design? Let me know with the comment down below, and then we can explore this article. And the article in question today comes from The Gamer, and it is titled, XDefiant's maps are too big for its time to kill to be this short. And when I saw this pop up, and it was over on Google when I was looking up XDefiant articles because I want to discuss things about this game, I immediately was like, I got to make a video about this because I disagree with this from the onset. As soon as I read that title, I'm like, oh boy, I can't wait to dive into this. And this isn't me trying to put the author on blast or anything like that. It's just me saying that I disagree with this person's opinion, which I think is totally fine. Because I do not believe that XDefiant's maps are too big for its time to kill. And I honestly believe that this player has been playing the wrong game modes, and I'll discuss it later in this video. Because I want to go through this article point by point and give my insight to it. So, the author starts off with, Ubisoft's popular free-to-play shooter XDefiant is a whole lot like Call of Duty, with a very light coat of Ubisoft paint. At launch, the game only features factions and maps from modern, realistic, and shooty Ubisoft series like The Division and Far Cry, which largely makes it look like any other shooter. Completely fair point. But that's what XDefiant's going for, because it's trying to be a direct competitor to Call of Duty. It's trying to compete in that mil-sim genre, and I think it does a pretty good job of that, and it's leaning on its own franchises to do so, which makes it a little unique in that sense. He continues, I am fundamentally in agreement with the folks over at MinMax who argue that the game should draw on more cartoony Ubisoft franchises like Rayman if it wants to stand out. Imagine a Mario and Rabbids level with blocky cover and primary colors. Alas, there's nothing but camo and AK-47s as far as the eye can see. I'm not saying that a shooter like that with a cartoony feel wouldn't work. What I'm saying is that's not part of XDefiant's identity. They are not trying to be that. Maybe they will in a future season, maybe they will down the line. But as it stands right now, that's not what the game is trying to be. And I'm totally okay with that. If that's what you wanted, then you know what? This game isn't for you. It doesn't need to be for everyone. Simple as that. But it just, this article starts off in a weird way, and it continues. XDefiant embraces Call of Duty for better and for worse. As it stands, the Call of Duty core is what jumps out, and the influence is both good and bad for the game. XDefiant feels just like Call of Duty, the weapons are punchy, the run and slide feels like Treyarch could have cooked them up, and the special abilities would feel right at home in a Call of Duty game. All of that stuff is good. Call of Duty has ruled the shooter roost for a decade and a half for a reason. You're right, a lot of the stuff that this game does well also is done well in Call of Duty, except there's a few avenues where I would argue XDefiant is better. Does it feel like Call of Duty? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But it also can feel like CSGO sometimes. And that's the beauty of this game. It's not trying to be a Call of Duty clone. It's trying to be a competitor to Call of Duty. But anyways, let's continue. But also, just like Call of Duty, the time to kill in XDefiant is extremely quick. If you notice that an enemy is shooting at you, it is usually too late to do anything about it. That works okay for Call of Duty, a series where maps tend to be fairly compact and organized neatly into 3 lanes that funnel you towards confrontation, but XDefiant's maps are larger and more sprawling. There are entire areas that aren't used during certain match types, and if you find yourself in one of those empty areas, it's like stumbling into the back rooms. So right off the bat, I'm questioning whether or not this player has played Call of Duty recently, because there has been a massive push, and we've seen it with Modern Warfare 3, for maps to get smaller, because the maps have been too big, too vertical. And the community wants smaller maps, and whatever, that's fine. There's maps like Meat now out there that are pretty good maps, and there's that other one that came in Season 2 that's escaping me right now for Modern Warfare 3. But either way, they've addressed this problem. They're putting in smaller maps into the game. And I've never once felt like I'm sprawling in the back rooms in any of XDefiant's maps. Even if I'm playing Zone Control and Escort, there's never a moment where I feel as if I'm in the back rooms, which I'll touch on further in a second. But the core maps that we play in Hotshot and Occupy and Domination, there's never a moment where I'm like, oh, there's just no one around me. It's very easy because it's an objective-based game. Go towards the objective. Except maybe Hotshot, that there's a little bit more randomness to it. But if you want action, go to the objective. Continues here. XDefiant is a little bit like a biathlon, the winter sport where competitors ski for multiple kilometers, then pause to shoot at targets, before skiing away. You spawn on your team's side of the map, sprint for a long time, then briefly shoot someone if you're lucky, or instantly get killed if you're not. Then, like strapping your skis back on after pausing for a bit of marksmanship, you're back to running again. Again, this structure doesn't mean the game isn't fun. I'm having a good time with it, but it can be a frustratingly choppy experience. This person is playing Zone Control and Escort and does not realize that the defensive team purposely spawns further away so that the offensive team has an opportunity to push the objective forward, to control the zones, to push the Escort towards enemy lines. That's the point. It is a competitive advantage to be on offense, to have an opportunity to push. That's why they put the defensive spawns further away, and why it might feel like you're spawning in the back rooms or you're running a biathlon. That's an intended design. None of this has to do with the maps being too big or the fact that the time to kill is too quick. It's a purposeful design decision to keep matches fair. If you lengthen time to kill, or if you make maps smaller for modes like Zone Control or Escort, the games won't function as intended. It's that simple. It'll be a lot more of a choppy experience than what we experience right now in XDefiant. I feel as if we have a pretty consistent time to kill, a pretty consistent map design, especially for those larger maps for Escort and Zone Control. I have a ton of fun playing those modes. They're fun modes to play, but you have to understand that when you're on defense, you're going to be doing a lot more running. When you're on offense, you're going to be doing a lot more chasing and running into gunfire because that's part of the mode. That's how it's designed. It's that simple. If you don't like the way those modes are designed, go play Hotshot, go play Occupy, go play Domination. The ones that have smaller maps so it doesn't feel like you're running a biathlon. Very simple solution to this. And he finishes this off with saying, it also prevents XDefiant from being the kind of story-making machine that great competitive games often are. The last multiplayer shooter I got really into was Halo Infinite, and Halo's big maps pair very well with its lengthy time to kill. Because one shot usually isn't enough to take down an enemy, you're often pursuing or being pursued. Firing off rounds in a prolonged chase, it feels exciting, even cinematic. Oh yes, because Halo is really good at competing with Call of Duty, with appealing to the masses. Its long time to kill is definitely something that appeals to people in the TikTok generation. Oh yeah, that's right, it doesn't. There was a time where Halo worked, but it definitely isn't with Halo Infinite or Halo 5. There was a time when Halo was on top of the world, with Halos 2 and 3. But that time has long passed, and there's a reason why XDefiant wants to lean more into Call of Duty than Halo. I'm all for a little bit longer of a time to kill because it increases the skill gap, but it wouldn't work in an arcade shooter like XDefiant. It just wouldn't. Would it work in other games? Probably. Not here. And I just think this is a really, really, really bad take. You can have your opinion, and again, I'm not trying to throw shade at the author. I'm just bringing up my counterpoints to his article. And honestly, I'm going to link the article down below. Read it for yourself. Create your own opinions on it. And finally, I want to just finish this off with this little sentence. While playing XDefiant, I don't find that my character really has much of an arc at all. Sure, you could assemble a narrative over the course of a full match, but that feels more like looking at data points and plotting them on a graph than actually experiencing a story. What? What? Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I've never once thought of creating a story for my player in a first-person shooter. Never once thought about that. That's what a campaign is for. And unfortunately, XDefiant doesn't have a campaign. But instead what it does is it leans on its own universe to create its characters. So you want to have an overarching story for your characters? Go play the games where the characters are derived from. Simple as that. But anyways, that's it for the video today. That's all I wanted to touch on. I would love to hear your thoughts about where you're at with this. Do you agree with this article? Do you disagree? Let me know with a comment down below, because wow, I can't believe this is someone's take. I honestly don't think that they know that there's different maps for zone control and escort versus the other three modes. Kind of funny, really. Anyways, no shade at the author, just presenting my opinion and my response to this article. Love to hear your thoughts in that comment section. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.